The next trillion-dollar mistake in enterprise technology will not be companies ignoring AI. It will be companies buying AI. I like old software and expecting transformation today. That is the uncomfortable truth behind AI as a service. The future is not simply more models in the cloud. It is an enterprise operating layer where intelligence is available on demand, measured like infrastructure, governed like finance, and embedded into workflows. AI as a service means renting artificial intelligence through APIs, cloud platforms, managed models, and enterprise tools, instead of building everything from scratch. But the real shift is deeper. Enterprises used to buy software that helped humans do work. Now they buy services that can read, reason, generate, classify, retrieve, predict, recommend, and sometimes act across business systems. That changes architecture, economics, ML teams, and competitive advantage. The problem is that many companies treat AI as a service like a shortcut. They connect an LLM API, build a chatbot, announce a pilot, and wonder why nothing meaningful changes. Usually the model is not the main problem. The business problem was never decomposed properly, the workflow was never redesigned, the data layer was not ready, governance was vague. Integration was fragile. Metrics were vanity metrics. And the people who needed to trust the system were not involved early enough. Enterprise AI is moving from experimentation to operationalization. The first phase asked, can this model write, summarize, search, or code? The second phase added copilots, assistants, and APIs into daily work. The third phase has to prove business impact. AI as a service must reduce cycle time, improve decision quality, lower cost, increase revenue conversion, reduce risk, or unlock new products. In enterprise technology, cool demos do not survive budget reviews. Measurable systems survive. So what separates successful AI as a service adoption from AI theater? Not one model, vendor, or prompt. The answer is architecture, governance, and workflow discipline. Start with architecture. Future enterprises will not rely on one monolithic AI system. They will use a portfolio of AI services, foundation models, domain-specific models, retrieval systems, agents, vector databases, model gateways, monitoring systems, identity controls, and policy engines. The enterprise future is not one chatbot for everything. It is an AI service mesh. Different models will be routed to different tasks based on cost, latency, privacy, risk, and accuracy. A low-risk summary may use a cheaper model. A regulated workflow may need stronger controls, traceability, human review, and a more reliable model. The winning companies will not only ask, which model is best? They will ask, which service is appropriate for this task, under this risk level, at this cost, with this audit trail? AI as a service is not only a technology decision. It is a resource allocation decision. Every inference has a cost. Every agent action has a risk. Every automation changes accountability. Every model dependency affects resilience. If a company does not understand usage, latency, accuracy, failure modes, and business value per workflow, its AI budget can quietly become a black hole. The second pillar is data. AI as a service is powerful, but it does not magically fix messy enterprise knowledge. Most companies do not lack AI ambition. They lack clean, accessible, permissioned, high-quality context. Customer data sits in one system, contracts sit in another. Product documentation lives in old folders. Policies are outdated. Knowledge is trapped in people's heads. Then leaders ask an AI assistant to answer accurately. But accurate answers require accurate context. This is where retrieval augmented generation, knowledge graphs, metadata, data catalogs, and permission-aware search become strategic. A serious enterprise AI service must know what it can see, what source it is using, how fresh that source is, and whether the answer should be produced automatically or escalated to a human. Without that, AI becomes a confident interface on chaos. The third pillar is governance. Many executives think governance means bureaucracy. In AI, good governance is an acceleration system. It gives teams clear rules for what can be built, what must be tested, what data can be used, who approves high-risk use cases, how outputs are monitored, and how incidents are handled. Without governance, every AI project becomes a negotiation. With governance, teams move faster because the boundaries are already defined. Enterprise AI governance needs to cover hallucination risk, data leakage, prompt injection, model bias, intellectual property exposure, cybersecurity, compliance, vendor dependency, and human accountability. This becomes critical as AI services become agentic. A passive chatbot gives advice. An agent can take action. Send an email, update a CRM record, create a support ticket, query financial data, write code, or trigger a workflow. The moment AI moves from generating text to operating tools, the risk model changes. You are no longer only managing content quality. You are managing machine speed behavior inside business systems. That is why the future of AI as a service will include stronger control planes. Enterprises will need model gateways that log requests, filter sensitive data, enforce policies, compare model performance, and track cost. They will need evaluation pipelines before and after deployment, red teaming for adversarial prompts, and role-based access control. So an AI agent cannot do more than the human or service account behind it should be allowed to do. They will need observability, not just for servers, but for retrieval quality, tool calls, outcome accuracy, and failure patterns. AI as a service will not eliminate machine learning talent. It will change what that talent does. Value shifts toward model selection, evaluation, orchestration, data engineering, security, domain adaptation, product integration, and business measurement. The enterprise ML professional becomes less of a model builder only and more of an AI systems architect. The person who connects model capability to business process redesign becomes far more valuable than the person who only knows how to call an API. For enterprise leaders, the practical question is, how do you adopt AI as a service without wasting money? Do not start with, we need an AI strategy. Start with a painful workflow. Customer support agents spend too long searching documentation. Sales teams lose deals because proposals take too long. Engineers waste hours understanding legacy code. Compliance teams review repetitive documents manually. Finance teams spend days reconciling data across systems. These are real problems. AI should be attached to friction, not fashion. Then, define the task clearly. Is the AI summarizing, classifying, extracting, drafting, predicting, recommending, searching, or acting? Each task has different evaluation criteria. A summarization system should be tested for faithfulness and coverage. An extraction system should be tested for precision and recall. A coding assistant should be tested for correctness, security, and maintainability. A customer-facing agent should be tested for resolution rate, escalation quality, safety, and customer satisfaction. If you cannot evaluate the system, you are not ready to scale it. Next, design the human role. The stronger pattern is human-AI collaboration. AI handles repetitive cognitive work, prepares drafts, surfaces evidence, detects anomalies, and recommends next steps. Humans handle judgment, accountability, exceptions, relationship management, and high-stakes decisions. The best enterprise AI systems remove low-value friction so humans can focus on decisions that require expertise. Then measure business impact. Usage is not impact. Prompt volume is not impact. Number of pilots is not impact. Real metrics include time saved, error reduction, faster cycle time, higher conversion rate, lower support cost, better forecast accuracy, reduced compliance backlog, improved developer throughput, or increased customer retention. A company that cannot connect AI service usage to outcomes will eventually cut the budget or drown in fragmented tools. Vendor strategy also matters. AI as a service creates dependency. That does not mean companies should avoid cloud AI providers. It means they should avoid becoming strategically blind. Enterprises need to think about portability, data rights, model switching, audit access, uptime, regional compliance, pricing changes, and exit options. Security will become a defining battleground. Traditional software security asks, who has access to what? Enterprise AI security must also ask, what can the model infer, reveal, retrieve, generate, or trigger? AI model connected to internal data can leak sensitive information if permissions are weak. An agent connected to tools can be manipulated if instructions are not isolated from untrusted content. AI security has to be designed into the service from the beginning. The future of AI as a service will also change enterprise software itself. Many SaaS platforms will become AI native. Instead of users clicking through dashboards, agents will query systems, generate reports, recommend actions, and execute routine tasks. But this creates AI fragmentation. Every vendor will add an assistant. Every department will buy tools. Without a central AI operating model, enterprises will end up with disconnected copilots, inconsistent governance, duplicated cost, and no unified learning loop. The winning pattern will be centralized standards with decentralized innovation. A central team sets governance, infrastructure, model access, security, evaluation methods, and cost visibility. Business units build use cases within those boundaries. This prevents chaos without killing speed. It also helps companies reuse prompt libraries, retrieval pipelines, approve datasets, evaluation benchmarks, dashboards, and agent permissions. Reuse is where AI as a service becomes scalable instead of experimental. Now look at the economics. AI as a service lowers the barrier to entry because companies no longer need to train frontier models to benefit from AI. But lower entry barriers also mean competitors can access similar capabilities. Differentiation comes from proprietary data, workflow integration, domain expertise, speed of execution, trust, and distribution. If everyone can rent a powerful model, the advantage is not the model alone. The advantage is how intelligently you apply it to a specific business system. Here is the final warning. AI as a service will not save a badly managed company. It will expose it. If your data is chaotic, AI will reveal it. If your processes are broken, AI will accelerate the confusion. If your teams are disconnected, AI tools will multiply fragmentation. If leadership only wants headlines, pilots will replace progress. But if a company has clear problems, strong data discipline, serious governance, and the courage to redesign workflows, AI as a service can become one of the most powerful enterprise technologies of the next decade. The future is not about asking whether enterprises will use AI as a service. They already will. The real question is whether they will use it as expensive shortcuts or as disciplined intelligence infrastructure. One path creates noise, risk, and wasted budget. The other creates faster decisions, better products, stronger operations, and a new level of competitive advantage. In enterprise technology, that is the difference between companies that merely adopt AI and companies that become structurally more intelligent.